The other day when I got to work, I found that my friend Carol left me this. This was a complete surprise. But if anyone would do this, it would be Carol. She's the most gracious, generous person. Thank you so much, Carol. Let me show you what is in this cool bag. First of all, look at this cool bag. I mean, I love that. It's both her style and mine. I appreciate that kind of detail. Even the color of the tissue in here. Ah, Carol. So she heard me talk about Babycat from YSL and how much I liked it. She said, oh, Steve, I have a 10 ml decant of that. She got it on scent split, but apparently it didn't really work for her. So she's like, I'm gonna give it to you. And she did. How sweet is that? And she put it in this gauzy sachet with some other treats that I haven't even tried yet. So here is a shower gel from Salt and Stone. It's black rose and oud. I'm gonna give it a little sniff right now. Ooh, yes. Yeah, very nice. It kind of smells like Oriento from Jeroboam, a perfume I love. Okay, I have a feeling I'm going to be bringing this to the gym today, and I'll be using this instead of Fahrenheit. You're welcome, everyone at LA Fitness. I'm going to smell so good. What else do we have here? Oh, this is interesting. This is a sample of Victoria Beckham's perfume, 2150 Reverie. Very interesting. I wasn't even 100% sure that Victoria Beckham had a perfume line, so okay. Here is a sample of Promise from Frédéric Malle. This gets a lot of attention. I tried this the other day. Very interesting. I'm not sure how I liked it on my skin, but I'm going to play with it a little bit more. It might become my favorite. You never know. And here it is, Babycat. Thank you so much, Carol. And thank all of you who watch these videos, and especially those who comment. It means so much to me to be having this dialogue with you. It's incredibly inspiring for me, and I've said this in the past, I learn so much from everyone, so thank you. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you watch these videos, then think about hitting the subscribe button. I feel so cheesy saying that because that's what YouTube people say, but I'm realizing they say it for a reason because it helps their channel. So if you're not subscribed, why don't you subscribe now? When I got home, Brennan saw that I had this Babycat thanks to Carol, and he wanted to put some on too because he also loves this scent. And we were luxuriating in all of this. And then I happen to have this bottle out too. This is African Rooibos from Chris Collins. And Brennan put this on in addition to the Babycat. So I tried it as well. I've always liked this scent very much because you know that I love tea scents. And this one is supposed to be that African Rooibos smell, which has naturally vanillic notes. I went through a phase where I was drinking Rooibos all the time. Who doesn't love a red tea? Where this is different from actual Rooibos is that brightness. I'm getting the citrus at the top. I'm sure there's bergamot because bergamot is in everything because it's that perfect lift to a scent. But that's going to subside, of course. But what starts coming in is black pepper and iris. It gives it more of an amber feel, very soft, very beautiful. I love this scent. The perfumer behind this is Sidonie Lanceur, and I love her work in general. What I found though, is when this is sprayed next to Babycat, the vanillic notes start coming out more, and it actually resembles Rooibos even more closely. That's sublime. That is absolutely beautiful. Now, the next morning, I woke up and I thought, I smelled great and Brennan smelled great. And I was trying to remember, why do we smell so great? And I realized it was because of this combination of Babycat with African Rooibos. Beautiful. If you have these scents, try them together. So nice. And while I was thinking about the Chris Collins perfume, I wanted to go through the collection and pick out a few more tea scents because I always love tea scents. It's one of my favorite genres of perfume, I have to say. Someone asked in one of the comments if I keep all of my fragrances here in the wardrobe, and at the time I said, oh yeah, that's pretty much everything here, right here. But I realized, no, I have perfumes in my towel cupboard, or the linen cupboard. I have fragrance in the kitchen. I have fragrance in my closet, just kind of random bottles that I don't know what to do with. So yeah, they're everywhere, everywhere. So this actually was not in the cabinet. This is Molecule 1 plus black tea. And the reason why it's out actually by the towels is because I wear this so often. Usually when I go and get a lint roller to take off some of the pug hair that's all over my clothing, I spritz on a little Molecule black tea. This is so fantastic. Gaze Schoen is the perfumer. And I particularly love this style of tea in here because there's something nice and fruity about it. In fact, I think I once described that fruit smell as being like a tin of blueberries. When I was a kid, we used to make blueberry muffins from like a kit, you know, from the supermarket. And it had a little tin full of sweet, syrupy blueberries. And I get just a little bit of that in Molecule black tea. Love this. Wulong Cha, fantastic. This isn't in the wardrobe because it's almost completely empty, and I didn't want to have an almost completely empty bottle in the cabinet. But it's because it's very well used. I wear this all the time. I always think of Wulong Cha as my summer scent. It's so refreshing, and I've worn it every summer for the past maybe 3 or 4 years. It's beautiful. Of course, there's that beautiful sparkling tea, but what I love about this scent as well is when I wear it, it smells like a handful of rose petals. I'm not saying that it smells rosy, but I just remember as a kid we had some roses in the garden and I would pick them and all these petals would be in my hands and I would just smell them and they smell dewy, slightly rosy, and I get that from this. It's truly intoxicating. I think that if I wore Wulong Cha with Derby Rose from Chantecaille, I'd be onto something very special. But I don't know, because I haven't tried that yet. What else do we have here? I just want to go through 1 or 2 more tea scents. Because when I'm done with this, Brennan and I are going to spend the day in Pasadena, and I already smell really great, but maybe there's some more tea scents that I want to discover before we go. This is beautiful. This is Rain Tea from Chasing Scents. This is a brand from Australia. And I remember the first time I tried this fragrance, it really took me somewhere. It's so special. The name is perfect because it smells damp and rainy. Imagine damp tea leaves after you've steeped the tea for a little while. This has that smell. And it reminds me, I've said this in the past, so I'm sorry for repeating myself, but there's an episode of At Home with Venetia in Kyoto, my favorite ever TV program, where Venetia took her green tea leaves that she's already steeped and they're damp, and she sprinkled them all over her tatami mats, and then took a brush and just started sweeping them up. The damp tea leaves would collect the dust and they deodorized the mats. So I always think of this as being that smell of tea leaves and damp straw. There's, oh, it's stunning. A beautiful chrysanthemum note in here and chamomile, which has that nice appley smell. But what is really beautiful is the honey. There's just the slightest touch of honey in this scent, giving it this really soft sweetness. So different. And whereas most of my tea fragrances are on the brighter side, more treble notes, this has such a great base. The center of gravity is lower in this scent, and that's unusual for tea smells. Love this. And I'm not going to go through this section because there's so much to go through. Aha! Here's that Check and Speak 88 that I was talking about last week because I saw the ad in that Arena magazine from 1988. I'll talk about this another time. The one I want to get to right now is this. This is Imperial Tea from By Kilian. This is fantastic. It's the perfect jasmine tea scent. I would spray it on right now, but I've already sprayed 3 things right now, and I do have to go out. I don't want to confuse everyone by too many fragrances. This is beautiful. It's really the perfect jasmine tea. And in addition, when I wear it, I swore I was getting a slightly chocolatey note. And I don't mean like chocolate brownies or anything gourmand like that. I just get this earthy, beautiful, round chocolate. So special. When this fragrance was discontinued, I was disappointed because I thought it was so special and there was nothing like it. But then a brand called One Day came out with the most incredible series of tea fragrances, and one of them is jasmine tea. I love it, and it's remarkably similar to Imperial Tea. So I don't know if this is available again. I heard that it might be, or it's coming back, but I have this. Still have a bottle, so I'm doing good. Plus, I can wear jasmine tea from One Day whenever I want. So, fantastic tea notes. Let's see. I think I recently showed you Tea for Two from L'Artisan Parfumeur. It was in one of these boxes, and it's very special. Of course, tea. It's in the name. And in that case, I think it's supposed to be sort of a chai tea. But I remember at the time, L'Artisan Parfumeur had a candle which smelled exactly the same as that perfume, and it was called Thé et Pain Épicé, which is tea and spiced bread, or we can think of it as gingerbread. And to me, it smelled more like that, maybe with a little touch of molasses with ginger and spices. So, so pretty. And finally, I'll bring this one out too as well because it has such a nice tea note. This is Angier from Boris Bijan Saberi. And I'm so disappointed to hear that this fragrance and this brand is ending. That's a shame. This is such a beautiful scent, and I actually have a bag from Boris Bijan Saberi, so I'm a fan. This is also Geza Schön. In fact, you can kind of smell a few things in common between Molecule 01 black tea and Angier. This has that, as well as ginger and fig, and it goes into a leather. So if this is a very minimal skin scent, let's say this is a starting point for this, but then Geza Schön fleshed it out into a much more complex scent. I do love this so much. Okay. Whoa. I think this has been a nice little foray into tea. I think next week I'm gonna go into one of these boxes that I haven't been through yet, just to see what's in there and to see if it needs to go into rotation again. But now, Brennan and I are gonna go to Pasadena because we wanna check out that little antiques mall. It's great, there are always amazing things in there. And we're gonna have a little architectural day. I want to swing by the Gamble House, this arts and crafts masterpiece of a house designed by Graham Greene. I've passed it many times, but I've never actually parked and gotten out of the car to walk around the grounds, so we're going to do that. And then I remember very close to there is a house designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. Iconic, really beautiful. And I mean, that's what's so great about the Los Angeles vicinity. There are these architectural masterpieces, but I don't really take the time to go and check them out, so we're gonna do that today. And then we'll probably end up on Colorado Street just to see what the shops have. So, let's go. I'm liking this base here. And the blobby in back of it is great too, but I'm not sure what you would use it for. Wow. You could put one magnificent stem in there.
That's so cool.
So it turns out that it's an original Tapio Wirkkala that's
I
signed.
don't know if you can see that.
Ah, that's so cool.
That's great.
Look at this crystal bowl here.
Also signed.
Signed by whom?
I don't know. It's very heavy though.
This pomegranate centerpiece is very cool. A little Venetian glass bottle. Can you imagine that holding perfume? Super cute. Here's some Japanese pottery. Looks like something
Ikebana
that
vase.
Brennan would have made. This is such a cool glazing. It's like the moon. Beautiful.
That's really cool. Wall hook with two little figures signed on the back.
Yeah, that's cool. This is very Barbara Hepworth flavor. Beautiful. Oh, this has my name all over it, but I need to learn to walk away. I remember my dad had a receiver from NAD in the 80s. I really do need to walk away from this. We're in Pasadena, and the whole time I've lived in LA, I've always wanted to visit the Gamble House, this beautiful arts and crafts or craftsman house. And you can take tours, but I never went because it's kind of expensive to go in. They're open for another hour. We're gonna kind of just walk around a little bit. Maybe we'll go in, we'll see. I don't even know if you can. You might have to book it in advance. But this whole area of Pasadena is so beautiful. I remember driving around here with my mom a few times. We would go on little driving trips for entertainment. And I think around here is a Frank Lloyd Wright house that was done with those Mayan looking bricks, kind of like the building that's in Blade Runner. Same time period of Frank Lloyd Wright. Okay, this is getting more and more interesting. There is a store here at the Gamble House, and there is the house. How the wood is carved. All these details are pretty incredible. So we're not able to go inside because it's too late. She said we'd have to make a reservation on a tour, and all the tours are finished today. That's fine. She said you're free to look around the grounds, and it's stunning. It's so beautiful. It's a hot day, but it feels nice and cool under these, well, that's an oak. What do you think this is?
Not sure.
Pretty tree. There's a bench over there, so I have a feeling we're gonna end up just sitting for a second. What an absolutely lovely place. Way past over there, you can see the mountains. Okay. is this not the most beautiful streets? Every house is beautiful. Look at this Japanese maple. This Acer, another gorgeous Craftsman. Got some rhododendron. Okay, we think that it's on this street here that Frank Lloyd Wright house is. So let's have a look at it. Should we come back here to trick or treat on Halloween?
Yeah. The air is fresher out here.
Definitely. Here it is. How cool is this? Look at this sofa. This is really beautiful. Look how deep that sofa is.
Oh wow. Let's get it.
I know, I love it. Turns out this is very comfortable. I'd be happy to just stay here for a little while. Plus the air conditioning is nice. Cute. That is cute. Don't you think Suki would like to drink out of that?
Probably.
I don't know if you guys, I mean the viewers, know, but there's a glass that I put next to the bed on the nightstand just for Suki, because that's how she drinks water, from a glass on the nightstand. That was a fun time in Pasadena. I liked the little wheat beer we got at Lucky Baldwin's at the end. Very refreshing. So I'm going to make dinner very soon. And I wanted to thank you for hanging out with me again. And I'll see you next time.